This demonstration we're going to look at installing and configuring the IPAM role. IPAM standing for IP Address Management. It allows us to have a centralized utility that can manage DHCP and DNS servers. I've come into my server manager on my server, and what we're going to do at this point here is we're just going to add roles and features. Then what we'll do at this point here, and before we begin, we'll just select Next. We'll go for role-based or feature-based installation and select Next. We'll select the server, lon-svr2, and select Next. It's not actually a server role, it is a server feature, so we'll select Next. And what we'll do at this point here is we'll go for IPAM. So we're just looking down here for IP Address Management. And then what we'll do is we'll add the additional features, and then we'll select Next. Just in the case of the confirmation, we're happy with everything in the case of the confirmation. As you can see, it is going to install quite a few different bits of functionality. So we'll select Install. This will take a couple of minutes, so at this point here we'll just pause the presentation and return back once the installation is complete. Installation is now complete, so we'll select Close. And what we need to do is we need to configure IPAM. So we'll come to IPAM in Server Manager. And now what we'll do is we'll just work through the wizard. So the first thing to do is connect to our IPAM server. So you can see we're already connected, but we'll just click on it anyway. Just go through the steps. So we've definitely got LonServe2 and select OK. The next thing to do is to provision the IPAM server. So we'll select Provision the IPAM server. Brings us into a wizard. So what we'll do at this point here is we'll select our Next button. We're going to configure a database that's going to be used for storing all of the config information. And we're going to use the Windows internal database from an SQL database and select Next. In the case of select our provisioning method, what we're going to do at this point here is we're going to use group policy based. And what we'll do for the group policy prefix is we'll just put in IPAM. Then we'll select our Next button, read through the confirmation and select Apply. Now this will just take a couple of minutes, so we'll just pause the presentation and return back once this configuration is complete. So the provisioning has now completed successfully, so we'll select Close. Now the next thing to do is to configure our server discovery. Now what this will do is this will just launch off a background task. So what we'll do is we'll just select Get Forests. As you can see here, background task is now occurring. So we'll just select OK at this point here. We'll just leave it for a couple of minutes and then we'll come back into this wizard again. So now what we'll do is we'll just configure server discovery again. It's picked up a datum. We've got a datum.com, so we'll select Add. Then what we'll do is we'll select OK. And the next thing to do now is to start our server discovery. Now this can take up to 15 minutes, so at this point here what we'll do is we'll just pause the presentation and return back after server discovery has completed. Yellow bar is now gone, so what we'll do now is we'll select our Add Service to manage and verify IPAM access. And what we'll get at this point here is we've got currently LonDC1 is currently blocked, and the reason why this is currently blocked is that we haven't yet granted permission for IPAM to actually manage lon-DC1, and that's because we haven't run the group policy, as we've already said. So what we'll do at this point here is we'll just actually run the group policy against the lon-DC1 machine. And in order to do this, we'll just launch up PowerShell, and we'll just issue the commandlet in order to invoke group policy. And we're just going to run invoke-IPAM GPO provisioning -domain is a datum.com. And then the GPO prefix name is IPAM, -IPAM server fully qualified domain name is lon-svr2.datum.com, -delegate a GPO user will be administrator. Then all we'll do at this point here is we'll just say yes. As we can see, it's going away and it's just provisioning IPAM. Now this will take a couple of minutes. At this point here, all we'll do is we'll just pause the presentation and return back once this is complete. So we're now complete, so at this point here what we can do is we can just close down PowerShell. And then what we'll do is we'll come in and do the rest of the configuration. So what we'll do is we'll just right click LonDC1, edit the server. Then what we'll do is come to the manageability status, click on the drop down, and we'll change this to managed. And then we'll select OK. Next thing to do is just swap over to the LON-DC1 machine, and all we'll do at this point here is do a GP update /false. At this point here we'll just hit the enter key. That's updating the policy. And what we'll do now is we'll now swap back to our IPAM server. So as we can now see, IPAM access is now unblocked. We're now managing LON-DC1, which is a DHCP and DNS server. Now that we have this managed server, we'll just come back to Overview, and then in Overview we just need to do the last step, which is just retrieve data from the managed servers. So we'll click on this button here. As we can see up at the top here, it's now running a background task. Now this will take a few minutes to complete, so at this point here all we'll do is we'll just pause the presentation and return back at completion. So if we just come up to the More button here, we'll just have a quick look, and what we're looking for here is we're just looking for IPAM server discovery task is now complete, so we've discovered the servers, and that's the end of this demonstration of configuring and installing the IPAM server role. Thank you.